everyone, it's Lindsay Wilkes from the Cottage Mama. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are in my home sewing studio and I'm really excited to have you here with me. I don't know if you've heard, but I am part of the Love of Sewing Challenge that's sponsored by Baby Lock Sewing and Embroidery Machines. And with this challenge, Baby Lock has sent me the most incredible sewing machine that I cannot wait to share with you. And here she is, the Baby Lock Destiny 2. This machine can do everything. It's got stitches galore, it's got embroidery editing, and it's got one of my most favorite features of all, IQ Designer. I'm excited to share with you today all about IQ Designer and some of the ways I like to use it to incorporate special touches into my sewing projects. So I've decided that I wanted to create a project that really reflected my love of sewing. I believe that when we create things for other people, we're giving a piece of ourselves. We're showing them our love through the things that we create for others. So I wanted to use the IQ Designer to incorporate one of my and my mom's favorite quotes into a special project for a little one. So I want to get started here and show you a little bit about IQ Designer and how to incorporate custom work into your sewing and embroidery machine. So first we're going to turn on the machine here. Let the machine come on. Here we go, it's just got to power up. All right, she's turning on. Okay, I'm gonna touch my screen here. All right, and I have my embroidery unit on my machine already set up because I'm going to be using IQ Designer and creating my own custom embroidery. So once I've got my machine on, I'm going to come over here to the IQ Designer and I am going to click right here. So what I have decided to embroider, or create I guess I should say, is a embroidery design that I actually plan to offer as a hand embroidery design. This was just something that was created from one of my favorite quotes. It says, I love you to the moon and back, something that my mom and I like to say to each other and I like to say to my own children. So this was just hand drawn, and this specific version here has been digitized, so it does look a little bit more computer generated. But you can draw and create any design you would like and have it on a regular size piece of paper or a scrap piece of paper, and you are going to be able to take your hand-drawn, hand-created works and scan them into the Destiny 2 machine and turn it into embroidery. I mean, how cool is that? I'm so excited to be able to use this machine to make my own works of art, I guess you could say. So this specific drawing has been created and I'm actually going to offer this for you guys too at home. You'll be able to download it on my website, thecottagemama.com, and you can use this if you have the Destiny 2. You'll be able to use it in the way that I'm going to show you. Or you can also print it out and use it just simply as a hand embroidery design if you have not purchased this machine yet. So anyway, so I have this is just printed out on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And again, it does not have to come from a computer. It could be a hand-drawn work of art. And you're going to take your scanning piece. It looks very much like a embroidery hoop with this side part, but you're actually going to take your drawing or your work of art and you are going to place it on here, and you're going to use the magnets that came with your machine. We're going to put one here and one here, and try to use the magnets that came with the machine. And then as you can see, I've got my drawing on there already and with my magnets. So then you're going to feed the this specific scanning piece into your machine just as you would a regular embroidery hoop. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to Push this piece down. And then I'm going to come over here. I've already clicked on IQ Designer, and I am going to create a line image because this is essentially a line drawing. And you're going to have your best luck if you use a black and white type of drawing or piece of art, something that's got really defined lines. You're going to have a lot better results with that. You can play around with all different other types of pieces of art and create different things in here in the IQ Designer, but if you have something that is strictly black and white, you're definitely going to get great results. So I'm going to create a line image, and now it's asking me, it's telling me to place my image onto the scanning frame, and I've already got mine on there, so I am going to hit scan. All right, so now the machine with its built-in camera is going to scan the entire design that I have here on the white part of the scanning frame. This is amazing. You are going to be amazed. So it's scanning all of it. I just love watching the machine do its thing. Okay, so now the machine is finished scanning and it is going to convert this. Okay, so you can see that we have here the I love you to the moon and back. The image has been scanned into the machine. With that, it did scan the magnets in there. And I don't tend to mess with the grayscale detection level. Let me grab this little stylus here, which is down here. When it's a black and white drawing, I find the natural settings work pretty well. But if you had an image that wasn't such a great contrast between the black and white, then you might want to mess with this down here. But what I want to do is I don't really want these magnets in my drawing. So I want to take this here and I only want the part that is part of my drawing. So let's see. Okay, I'm going to move this down just a little bit more because I don't want the green in there. Okay. So I'm feeling like that looks pretty good, so I'm going to click OK. Alright, so I've got my design here that I've created and now scanned into the machine, and I'm pretty happy with the way that it looks. So I'm going to hit set. Okay. And then there's all kinds of things that you could do here. Nancy Zeman, her first video, she did a wonderful job of explaining some of the different embroidery editing and things you could do with different embroidery designs. But I just really want to show you with my video here how to create something of your own in your machine. So here we've got my I love you to the moon and back design, and I'm going to click next. Okay, and then this is a really fun thing. So your machine is going to be able to highlight certain aspects of your design. And if you wanted to, you could change what the stitch looks like. I personally wanted more of a satin stitch for my embroidery, but if you wanted something different, you can move from stitch to stitch, as you'll see. Okay, let's go back to here because this is a bigger area. Then if you wanted to change this stitch, you could come in here and you could just do a basic straight stitch. You could change it to this little star stitch. You could, all kinds of things. So say I change that one little section to a star stitch and click OK. Now this one section of this design will be stitched out as a star, and then the rest of it could be stitched out as a satin stitch. So you have a lot of freedom, a lot of creative freedom in this Destiny 2 machine, making something your own. But I don't really want different stitches in my design. I would just prefer my satin stitch. So I'm going to click OK. And now we have the option to preview our design. Okay. It's coming through. And now it is showing me that what my design will look like once it has been transferred to embroidery. So now it's saying converted the embroidery pattern and IQ Designer will be exited. Okay to continue to embroidery edit screen. Okay. Okay, so now we have basically taken our design and we are entering into embroidery. Okay, so now this screen here is going to look a lot more familiar to those of you that maybe don't have the IQ Designer. If you have an earlier baby lock model that has some embroidery on it. The nice thing about this though is you can import your design that you've scanned and created, and then you have all the options to come in here and do all your embroidery editing just like you would a built-in design or a design that maybe you've downloaded from your computer and added into your machine. You have tons of options, and I think Nancy did a really nice job in the first week of our challenge explaining some of those different embroidery edit options for you. So say you like your design just the way that it is. You can get out of this screen and you can, well, I like to always see what my design is going to look like in the hoop here. So this is nice and big. I wanted a real big design, so I'm happy with the way that looks. And as you can see, my design won't fit into any of these smaller hoops. They're not highlighted. So that kind of tells me that I'm going to need to use this hoop. Okay. Now, it's a good idea to save your design if you can. Okay. Okay, so once I've got my embroidery design in here, I would just simply need to remove the scanning piece here. And I click OK, so it's telling me it's going to move. And I would just set this to the side. And then I would set up my largest hoop, as it told me that that was the one I was going to need for embroidery, using my stabilizer and my fabric and get my thread all ready. And I would just set it up just like you would for regular embroidering. And I know many of you know how to do that, so I'm not going to show you exactly how I would set that up. But what I do want to share with you is what the embroidery is going to look like once it is finished. Is that amazing? Look at this. Okay, so we have my original drawing here, I love you to the moon and back, and then we have it stitched out here with the gold thread on this really cute Riley Blake Swiss dot that has a little bit of a gold sheen to it as well. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw how well this design that was created by hand stitched out into the machine within minutes. I just think it's so incredible. So this design here could be turned into a pillow, it could be turned into a dress, it could be turned into a bag, it could be made into just a simple wall hanging or stretched across some canvas. There's so many different options. So you'll have to check back with me later to see what I decided to turn I Love You to the Moon and Back, what I decided to turn it into as far as my sewn creation. But if you just take a look at this, doesn't it make you excited about all the options that the Destiny 2 has with the IQ Designer? And I really just went on a basic overview. There's so many different ways that you can customize, you can edit, you can add, you can subtract. I mean, pretty much the sky's the limit as far as your creativity goes. So I encourage you guys, if you have a chance to play around on the Destiny 2 at one of your dealerships or at a class, you know, give it a try. I think you're really going to enjoy all the things that this machine has to offer. And you'll be able to get this design from my website, thecottagemama.com. And you can also check out some of my free classes that I have over on the Baby Lock website, sewathomeclasses.com. You just add my classes to your cart and check out. And it'll look like you're buying a class, but you're not really. They're completely free. So you just check out, and then you'll be able to watch all my free sewing videos that I have for you guys over there. So you might take some of those into consideration when you are deciding what to create with your beautiful embroidery design. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm thrilled to be part of the Love of Sewing Challenge, and until next time, happy sewing.